is on the move again, and he's not wasting any time.
The puppet he confronts. It is not like the others.
It's more likely to be the puppet master. He looks like a Deadwalker general. He's probably leading the assault on Valvanor.
All of this power he animates with, it belongs to me. It was stolen and twisted by your miserable magicians. It is time to take back what is mine by right.
If you're planning to take care of him like all the others, sounds good to me. Prince Arundel won't last long facing that kind of monster.
He is using more power than thou wilt allow me to deploy.
I can take care of myself, and here's my plan. I'm gonna come at him with everything I've got. Killing their general is gonna screw up our enemies big time. Let's go do it.
Did to him, but he seems to want to take revenge personally.
That was one tough death's head, but it won't command anyone now. Without their general, the Deadwalkers should leave us alone for a while. But they'll reorganize, so we can't stay here.
You're right, mercenary. Let's use the time to leave. It's now or never if we're going to get to Karalthas. My father and the armies of the Free Nations should be there. If we hurry, we may be able to participate in the mother of all battles and finally push back the Ice Lords.
If thou dost throw thyself into this battle, the only thing that thou wouldst find is thy death, and the only chance thou hast for saving this world will disappear with thee. Their armies will not win. He knows this, but that is not what motivates him. He is seeking his father's approval. He wants to buy the crown by delivering us to his king. He believes we are at his command. But he is mistaken. I only serve and live for the World Heart. Thy elven city is closer. I can feel it. Forget these suicidal battles. If thou join with them, thy so-called friends will end up turning against thee out of fear or envy.
Sybil would never raise a finger against me. She will back me to the end.
The scribe, who is as pretty as she is innocent. Art thou naive? The scribes manipulated thee in the temple and the swamp. But thou placest thy trust in their leader's daughter? Their leader, whose killer thou doth protect? Thou hast no more choice. Thou must hasten to the World Heart and purify it. It is thine only chance. Do combat there, and if thou art not slain, at least one of thy companions, if not all of them, will betray thee to try to control or study the power I bring thee.
Vulcan? Vulcan? You were far away. Is it the demon? He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Yes, it happens sometimes.
You have to make a decision soon. Will you join us in the battle at Karalthas?
I don't know yet.
I understand. It's been a long day. I'll let you think it over for a while. Let me know when you've made a decision.
Prince Arundel is asking us to join up with his forces in Karalthas to fight the Dead Walker army. What do you think?
For years now, the Knight has fought in many battles and with many different... The generals, the kings and the chiefs of those armies were usually ready to sacrifice their lives. If the mercenary goes to Karalthas, this prince will use him for his own purposes. He cares for nothing beyond his own safety. And if he is faced with the Ice Lords, he would... The Knight is weary of these doubts and petty thoughts. He wishes to... If he was in the mercenary's place, he would listen to the demon and fall, and he would like to know that he would not stand alone in this final battle.
Arundel wants me to go with him to Karalthas. What do you think?
You should go with him. Karalthas is our only hope for now, and the prince seems like a good man. We would be safer there. Both the human and elven armies are gathered there, and I believe you may find some answers there. The elven sages are some of the wisest people on Vertial. If anyone can figure out what...
It's pretty obvious what happened to me. A demon has somehow gotten into my head, and now I gotta...
And this does not worry you?
Yeah, it's starting to scare me.
I can imagine. These new powers come at a price. And I fear that you, Vulcan, your very self, you must go to Karalthas so they can examine you. I believe you must find a way to control this thing, or even rid yourself of it before it's too late.
Do you think we should listen to Prince Arundel and go with him to Karalthas?
The great elven army and what is left of the human army in this part of Vertial are now gathering at Karol. Separately, none of these troops stood a chance. But united... Well, reinforcements from the Freeborn Blades and Red Scribes will help. And so will you, from what I've seen. And even if I don't approve of all the strategic choices made by my sovereign these last few years, I think he'll rise to the occasion. He knows the lands around Karalthas perfectly. So I'm sure he will bring the battle on. And since you're curious to know more about what happened to you, My people's scholars are famous. They can surely help you.
You've got it all figured out.
I believe we can manage to hold the Deadwalker army back this time. Though it's a bit early to...
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Caroltha?
If you want to get to the World Heart, we'll need to go by there. But the prince's companies, believe me, I know his type all too well. Invested with a mission he is soon overwhelmed. In the name of his family, or because of an idealized vision of his future duties as sovereign. Chasing after glory and honor, unprepared and unprotected.
Seeing the shit we're in, I don't think he's doing it just for the glory. He's got an interest in having
And in making it look like everyone has survived entirely due to his talents, and not those. Do you really believe he wants you around just because he... Not to mention the increasing threat implied by our friends dressed all in red.
What do you suggest we do? Why should we go down there? What do you intend to do?
I have to talk things over with the other members of my order. But we planned on going to... Everything that is left of the human and elf armies is there. If we join forces, we should be strong enough to hold up. The contract with your company only ends once there, anyway. And I doubt your cap. What's more, it might be an excellent opportunity to learn more about your guest. The elven sages. And I suggest, until we should learn more, that you neither listen to it nor obey it.
We'll be able to break camp soon. Where's our next objective?
For now, we're going to stick with the Red Scribes. They haven't paid us yet, and they won't until we reach Carol. In any case, that's where we're headed. I sent Wolf on ahead of us a few weeks ago to see if he could find fresh folk. This war is looking worse and worse for us. In 10 years fighting, the Deadwalkers haven't lost a single battle. I suppose we can hide for a while. For the moment, it's the only camp we have left to play.
Thy captain is less stubborn than thee. Methinks I should perhaps have chosen him.
That's not a good idea, Captain. As long as we still don't know what he is, and more importantly, what he wants.
Well, up until now, he's been useful. I think if he'd wanted to harm us, he would have already done it, huh? But it's you that has to live with him.
I can't just leave. The prince is waiting to hear my decision.
There you are, at last. So, have you met...
I will fight with you at Carolthas.
Idiot! Thou hast sentenced thyself to death. And now?
Now we will go with the others to Carolthas, to swell our ranks, combine our forces, and face the Deadwalker army on equal terms.
Equal terms. Because thou hast slain a vassal far from his master, do not presume too much upon this body. Now draw close to the domain of one of these necromancers. Faced with his power, 1,000 soldiers more or less will make no difference. The power to slay this vermin lies within us. But it cannot be used from such a weak vessel, nor can it even be protected from those who covet it.
I am more and more powerful.
Yes, yet still not powerful enough. And this city is of no interest. The necromancer will lay waste to it with a wave of his hand. While he tarries, now must make haste to reach his palace.
You said that I lacked the power. I will not throw myself into the wolf's jaws.
When thou returnest to the world heart, none will stand before us. Thou wouldst already possess the power to destroy this sorcerer and his like, if thou hadst but allowed the evolution of this useless body. Look upon thyself. Thou art duped.
Vulcan, have you seen something?
They use thee.
You coming, Vulcan? Your captain will be wondering where we are.
Huh? Yes, of course. Let's go.
There you are, sire. Right. Change of plan. Seeing how cold it is, it will come as no surprise to you to learn that the dead walkers have already been here. They're still close.
We must rejoin my father's army as swiftly as we may.
I think we already found them. Take a look around us.
There are survivors. Apparently they are camped not far from here. This soldier will lead us to them.
Prince Arundel, my lord, can it be you?
Soldier, what happened here? Is the king with you?
The dead walkers took us by surprise. The cold and the ice. We stood no chance. Almost all of the city has been invaded by the ice.
My father! Where is the king?
I know not, Your Highness. But a few of us were able to escape. Lord Commander Valen has built a camp close by the city.
Valen is here! Take us to his camp.
By your leave. Follow me, my lord.
My prince, we had lost all hope of seeing you return safe. We have no word from Bastion.
Bastion is lost, Valen. We came into this war too late. The General of the Alliance gave his life that I should escape with Relmar.
The deserter. What business did he have at Bastion?
The deserter was fighting, while you and your wondrous army waited, warm and safe, sat upon their asses. I hope the result is pleasing to you, Valen.
Silence, both of you. Relmar saved my life, Valen. For now, you will consider him pardoned.
By your will, my lord. And I see that you are escorted by the freeborn blades.
In truth, they are escorting the Red Scribes, but their presence is our good fortune. They have already once put the dead walkers to rout in the marshes. This man slew one of their generals before my very eyes. I will tell you more of this later. Now I must speak with my father. Where is he?
No one knows, my prince. The king was still in the royal palace when the river Estelduin fell upon the city.
The river? What happened?
'Twas like a great wave that froze all that it touched. We had seen the approach of the Deadwalkers' vanguard 4 days before, and we had raised Caroltoss's defenses in preparation. Not even the sight of 10 juggernauts would have feared us. But we never dreamt that an Ice Lord would come to lead the assault himself. He walked calmly to within an arrow's flight of the gates, never once speaking. And then, the river rose up from its bed to form a gigantic cloud that hung up over Caroltoss. We understood our peril too late. Near all of our soldiers stood atop the ramparts or in the streets when the ice cloud fell. All were frozen where they stood. That was his signal to launch their assault, but we were already vanquished. We fought to cover our retreat.
We must find the king!
I know, my prince, but every entry to the city is guarded, and we cannot risk being discovered.
It is clear we will not travel 200 paces if we do not first slay the sentinels close to the encampment. Only then will we be able to attempt to enter the city and save your father.
I'll go find your king for you.
Vulcan, did you hear me ask for volunteers? Our mission is over. The Red Scribes have screwed up from start to end. But they're in the hands of the Elven army now.
Captain, since we're here, we may as well make ourselves useful, right? And we have to get inside those walls if we want to know what happened to Wolf and the other blades we left here.
Ah, Vulcan. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
That is why I shall go with him. I grew up in this city. We shall help one another.
My prince, you know well it is my duty to object to you taking such a risk.
And you also know that your objections will change nothing. No man here knows the palace better than I. If my father is within, I will find him.
By your word, sire. But I fear most what other things you may find. I can but put my trust in your newfound champion to watch over your highness.
Don't forget, you'll have to deal with those sentinels before you try anything else, Vulcan. Meanwhile, the lads will set up camp near the south gate.
Understood, Captain.